Apologies.
Dude, can I have one YouTube video that's just one
No,
continuous thing? God damn.
you
The
cannot.
Tempest was close. It was like a 9-minute second video, but Shorts, I read all the plots and everything, and War is Over just seeing like the John and Yoko kind of scene, but Letter to Pig like really had me like I was like,
Look,
oh, another
yeah, look
Holocaust themed
dark.
one.
Uh,
And then
yeah.
live action short, good old Wes Anderson took home an award.
Thankfully he wasn't there to accept it. That
Yeah,
would
I
have been
know, right?
insufferable. I
I
wonder who was up with that.
I told Marina that he was under a lot of scrutiny for being nominated in this because the shorts are a category for new up and comers, and Wes Anderson is a very established name, and but he took that one
A
home.
billionaire. I don't. Yeah, I wonder what he was doing that precluded him from showing up to the Oscars.
Bigger things that night. The one, that red, white, and blue one, sounded real good. Where it was like a woman with 2 kids, and she found out an unexpected pregnancy, but she lived in the South, so she had to go to a different state to get an abortion. I was like, ooh,
That's pretty poignant. Pretty
yeah.
surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then documentary short. I did the ABC's a book banning because it looked like
Me
a
too. I knew
political one.
the director of that um was the executive director of documentaries at HBO or something. So I thought
Oh
she would
shit!
cash in all her brownie
But
points.
it was a good little music, last repair shop, LA,
Yeah, they
stuff like
gave a little
that. So
black girl an award.
yes, they sure did. And then
Just
what
cute.
about effects? Visual effects. I I had no
Gojira.
idea what the creator was, but it looked fucking sick.
It's on Netflix, I think. It's a Garth. He did this the good Star Wars spinoff.
Rogue One.
Yes, he did that one,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and I think it looked and sounded amazing. I think people didn't like it because it was like pro AI, which you don't want to be
Sure.
right now.
It looks super cool. The
I
visuals are
think
great.
yeah, but Gojira wins the first ever Godzilla Oscar win. Good for
And
the
I
people.
I heard such good things about Godzilla minus one.
I did too. The only controversy I heard is that they underpaid the VFX artists, but I guess that's just
Mm.
customary in Japan. It's
Well,
considered art.
they won the Oscar, so who fucking cares? They got
They had
it.
the toys on stage.
Yeah, all of them. That was awesome.
Sound went to a Zone
Zone
of
of
Interest,
interest. I was
which
shocked.
surprised. You were shocked. I've been shocked at every award, but this was pretty surprising. I saw the movie. It's some pretty harrowing sound work. I'll say that.
Because
Um,
like the clip that they used was just like it was like a picture of a flower and then like nature around it.
yeah, there's stuff going on behind that. Is the idea. So you sound unlike any other movie I've seen. So I think just like maybe a landmark achievement award, shocking.
And usually sound, because it used to be editing and mixing, is now just one, either goes to
I
a
like it.
music-based one or a war-based one. So I figured Oppenheimer or
Yeah.
Maestro was going to take it.
No, this is one of the rare ones where sound is like one of the more important narrative parts of the story.
Interesting.
And it's a tough watch, Mr. Snedeker. Mr. Snedeker.
Well,
Mr. P.
then
Snedeker.
let's, Mr. L. Rents. Well, let's get to the Poor Things cleanup here with
Cavalcade.
you.
The
Good word.
cavalcade.
Yeah, the
It's
cavalcade.
a cavalcade. And
Yeah,
the cavalcade surprised me. It was shocking. It floored me because it's a great movie and it's very technically well done and everything, but it was just surprising. I was surprised.
Production design, makeup and hairstyling,
Boom.
and costume design.
Boom.
I did put it for production.
But I did as not as well. I didn't pick it. I did pick it for makeup and hairstyling.
See, no, I thought Maestro was going to get it because of all the work that they did for Bradley Cooper.
No. Yeah, but they did even more work on Willem Dafoe's face to make him ugly.
Well, and usually it's like, because I know like a lot of times in like makeup and things, it's like Guardians of the Galaxy is going to be nominated, but they want the quality over the quantity of how much they did.
I just remember when Dallas Buyers Club won, famously on a $500 total budget for that movie. So they maybe are a little more liberal than you give them credit for, Brandon.
I'm literally talking
That's
about it right now.
surprising of you.
I'm not trying to give it to giant big blockbusters.
That's a surprising statement from you.
But Poor Things there, like I
I'm a
said,
champion
like you
of
said, I
indie
mean,
films. Yes.
technical to the highest extent was Poor Things, and so I knew it was going to be a front
It
runner.
was,
But so
yeah, and
was
like
Barbie.
yeah, I think Poor Things walked away, and it's surprising to say the least, but I think they walked away mostly because their art direction was very technically proficient, yes, but also with a very distinct art style to it all as well. You know, everything looked this weird Greek fascist way that Yorgos likes to design.
And we talked about costume design a little bit before we submitted. I think all 5 could have won. Barbie was all the pink and the glitz.
Yeah, and
Poor Things,
Ken,
like you just said, the Greek kind of stuff.
yeah,
Killers of the Flower Moon with the Native American.
yeah,
Napoleon's just Napoleon, all that French
suits and shit. Yeah,
and then Oppenheimer, that little hat that Cillian Murphy wears.
it was a great hat. Loved it. It was great little bow ties in them.
So those couple
Einstein had a
ones.
hat. Did he go catch it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
technical, Oppenheimer, editing and cinematography.
I think, and that was the big signifier. If we weren't primed and lubed for it already, here's Oppenheimer coming.
Yeah.
They're sweeping. Because this is usually, I feel like editing is usually the big signifier. That usually, even more than director, goes hand in hand with best picture.
Well, it used to be director every time, but recently it's just been like
They give it to the guys, yeah.
And this was one I think about editing going back to what was it, 2015, the year Whiplash won, because I remember I picked Boyhood because it had 18 years worth of footage.
What the fuck is wrong? They should have picked that
to put together, but also like the beauty of Whiplash's cuts and everything spliced.
Yeah, but it wasn't 18 years of it.
Yeah. So then I was thinking to myself, I was like, Oppenheimer, but maybe Killers of the Flower Moon had so much footage.
Traditionally, a category dominated by women editors. Brandon,
because they're nitpicky.
Surprising, but yeah, that you would say that.
And then cinematography is usually men. Oppenheimer as well there.
It's usually some big fucking dicks. Usually these cinematographers are like the big swinging dicks of Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like, well, what's that, man? Emmanuel Liberty. Very surprising.
Score?
Surprising. It was Oppenheimer.
I knew it.
No, I was shocked.
I thought it.
It was great. What? Yeah, just it was a shocking night all around for me. Very surprised, but
I was confident in Oppenheimer there.
Okay. It still surprised me. Every time they said the name, it surprised me. So Oppenheimer.
And then song.
He's a beast. Song. I was swayed in the performance by Ryan Gosling.
That was
slammed that thing out of the park. Yeah.
That was the greatest live Oscar performance I've ever seen of Ryan Gosling doing "I'm Just Ken"
completely
with
loose.
Slash and doing the Marilyn Monroe thing and
going through the crowd. Yeah, he was just a charismatic lightning bolt.
Grabbing the cameraman, I was like,
getting girls pregnant left and right. Yes.
So, and like I said, I was like, this was. Some people are like, oh, what if they split the votes and something else ends up winning? But I was like, if they split the vote, Barbie's getting all of the votes basically. So even if they split it, it's one of the two Barbies getting it.
An odd year. But they gave it to Billie Eilish and her tall brother who's not named Eilish.
Just Phineas. And I mean, that song is gorgeous. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah. Some people take abhorrence to it because it comes in, it's a credit song. It's not like really in the movie, or it's at the very, very tail end of the movie.
No, it was in the movie.
Credits. What was I made for? Doesn't it go into the credits?
It's played like 3 times throughout the film.
Abhorrence, people say, because of that violation.
They're dumb. I remember early on when Barbie and Ken make it into the human world, and Barbie's first like breathing in the air, and the song starts to play, and I cried in the theaters. I know exactly where
he cried, folks. He knows where it's at.
Yeah, but oh my, Ryan Gosling, like the greatest performance.
Yeah, better than Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga fucking on stage.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, the
Documentary.
big hitters. Oh, documentary as well. Went to the Ukrainian one. I was surprised.
You're surprised at all
20
of
Days
them.
in Mariupol. Yeah. Deserving, I'm sure. The most emotional speech of the night.
Oh,
And I think
such a good
expectedly so.
speech.
Stomping around. Yeah, he wished couldn't give this over.
A documentary about guys like a crew in Ukraine, like reporting on the war, and then they get stuck in the war-torn city about to die for 20 days and
That's
are
pretty cool
capturing
shit.
all the footage. Like, that's good.
That's
When I
good
read
shit.
that, I was like, yeah. The Tequila
of course
Tiger
it's good.
sounded pretty good, where it was like
That's what Paul voted for.
somebody, like a guy's kid was like gang raped in India or something, so he goes out to try and kill them, and I was like,
That's not cool, Brandon.
I mean, it was like a compelling story. Yeah, not cool. Bad
Yeah.
word. That was sick.
That was sick in a bad way, in like a deranged way.
And
All of it.
international, I don't think there was any zone of interest.
It would have been interesting if Anatomy of a Fall was nominated, but the French government refused to,
And Past Lives.
because of their umbrage with I think Past Lives is an American movie.
Oh, but it's just foreign language.
It's not foreign language anymore. It's international.
I know, but it is a foreign language.
It is a foreign language, but in America. Yes, I see. Yes,
I see.
Okay. But Anatomy of a Fall should have been, but the French government took umbrage with the director's comments about the French pension system way back. So if it were,
if it were 2019, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall, and Zone of Interest could have all went up against each other when it was foreign language film.
Correct. And lost to Parasite.
And lost yeah, for sure. That one, The Society of the Snow, I looked it up. It was just Alive, like a modern remake of the movie Alive. I was like, oh, hell
yeah. Chilean.
Mm-hmm.
Chile.
And then, before some of the big hitters,
ones.
Animated feature.
I picked this one. I had some thoughts on this. The Boy and the Heron one. Miyazaki's probably not final movie they're thinking anymore. He's gearing up to do another.
Because of his win, you think, or just because?
No, just he just fucks around and can't say retired for 10 seconds. But I didn't think they were going to give another Oscar to the Spider-Man franchise, the second installment of a trilogy, and give all three, potentially setting that up.
Yeah, because honestly, my guess is that when the third one comes out, it'll be the
biggest and the best. Yeah, you would think it would be the capstone of the trilogy, right? So that'll get rewarded.
And I know you're down on Spider-Man, but like these movies are like legit. Like these ones are
legit.
Super freaking
this
good.
is evidence that Academy Award recognition is evidenced by it. Miyazaki's third win for best animated feature as an Oscarman.
What is his
Spirited Away and another one?
I can't remember what the other one is.
Miyazaki Oscar.
I heard The Boy and the Heron was so good. You saw that, didn't you?
I did not.
Oh,
I meant to.
And I loved Elemental by Pixar, but
Gone are the days. Oscar.
Okay, and gone are the days of Pixar winning every single year. So
good. Elemental blew chunks. People said.
No, Elemental was very good. It was just like I would say like people gave it like a 70 and not a 90.
I heard people said it sucked ass.
No, it was very good. You should watch it.
Okay, Brandon. I do trust my fellow movie critic podcast.
Thank you. Okay, big hitters.
Now the
two screenplays.
A surprise, even though I picked them sometime correctly. It was surprising. Cord Jefferson was pretty cool, winning for American Fiction. That seemed like a very classic literary honor scholarly award.
Yeah, adaptation to it. I that's what I picked right off the bat too. I was like, this gotta win, you know. And then original, I was very torn between The Holdovers and Anatomy of a Fall. It was going back and forth and back and forth.
Back and forth. And back and forth. I love Anatomy of a Fall, and I thought the tightrope it has to walk is a more impressive,
Amore.
impressive feat than whatever emotional depths the holdovers might have plunged. So that's why I picked. That's why I leaned that.
Did you re-download Discord and read my review of the holdovers?
I did. I meant to post my own review of some movies and did not, for
Well, you
political
better.
reasons. But
How about supporting roles? The actress.
pretty surprising. Divine Joy Randolph
Yeah,
just
it
got me
was.
crying in her speech.
I see, and I missed it. At first, for like very weak year for supporting actresses, and she kind of ran
She's
away
pretty
with.
strong. She's got
She
muscles.
was. She ran away
She
with all the
could bench
precursor
250.
awards. So
I think every single one. Yeah. So even though she did that, it was still surprising for her up on that stage to be a shocking victory and just be bawling. And I was bawling. We were all bawling. You saw the holdovers. Worthy?
yes, worthy.
Extremely worthy. Okay. And then Iron Man wins for playing Levi Strauss. Is that his name? In no, Lewis Strauss.
Lewis.
Levi Strauss is the
I think you
fancy.
mean Lewis Hamilton, the F1 racer.
We're on track now. Get it? Track.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're all gassed up. Really, it's the
Nice.
final lap, and we got a green flag here to talk about our favorite movies. The checkered flag is in sight. Don't make a pit stop, Brandon. It's not time to fuel up or get new tires or anything yet.
Yeah,
We still got.
you get tired of these things.
You get 499 laps to
But
go.
full
Gentlemen,
throttle
start your
ahead.
engines. Lightning McQueen. So
Vroom
Iron Man
vroom.
has an Oscar. Vroom vroom is what
And
we mean to say.
sorry to shout you out, Mitch, but poor take on him from his Barbie review in our Discord where he said this was a career ender role for Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, he nearly won.
I think he was the runner up.
And then he was obviously the star of the Oscars. So
Straw the answer. I think runner up for this, and like
of course,
his Ryan Gosling's career was never going to be over because of it. But then he was awarded plenty for it.
Transformers: Rise of the Beast was nowhere to be found. Even caught a stray, in fact, from Jimmy Kimmel. He said it could have been written by AI.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
And then actor.
The biggest
two-horse race. Killian and Paul Giamatti.
And it's I was shocked. It was Cillian Murphy win, the skinny lad from Ireland himself, first Oscar win and nom.
Marina, when he stood up, Marina was like, "Is this man 18? He looks super young, but also his eyes and his face say that he's 60." I was like, I'm pretty sure he's like 45.
He had some bangs going on. The star of 28 Days Later. I think he's doing some stuff.
Peaky Blinders. He's a Christopher Nolan guy.
He is, and it was the Christopher Nolan coronation night. But before we get to that, it was a shocking, surprising, terrifyingly bad turn of events that Emma Stone wins for Poor Things over Lily Gladstone, spitting in the face of Native American and women everywhere, I should add.
Well, and I was looking at
totally sexist call.
The betting odds of things, and it was like Lily Gladstone was the front runner. I think she was negative 125 or something. Yeah. But like Emma Stone was like right there at like plus 175, and then everything else was like plus 6,000. It was like really these two as well.
These horses. It was down to the wire which horses knows.
I mean, and I've heard
it's good. It's transformative, and it's like really athletic performance from Emma Stone too.
I heard it was her best performance ever, better than La La Land, and
it's just racist and sexist what this Academy has done.
I just thought that with Lily Gladstone being there, being able to honor the first Native American winner, it was going to happen, and then it didn't. Honestly, and you could tell that Emma Stone was just as shocked.
One of my takeaways was it as good a song as the Barbie songs were. They should have picked the Killers of the Flower Moon song after the performance. Seeing that, like, they're not going to award this emotional indigenous song. They're going to give it to the Barbie songs, and they're going to give it to the Hot Cheeto song. It just, like, even though it's a great song or whatever, but I'm like, well, it's bad optics a little bit. But anyways, yeah, Killers. It's it was sexist. Lily Gladstone's a woman, and they didn't award her.
I mean, Emma Stone is also a woman, so I don't know how it was sexist, but
She
yeah,
already
Emma
won
Stone,
one.
just as shocked. I was like, I told Marina as we were all just like, what? I was like, she's gonna go up there and share this award and say that Lily Gladstone
Should've.
deserves it just as much, and she did. She was like, I respect all you women, but Lily, like, you deserve to be up here with me. I was reading a lot about that award because that was the biggest buzz of the night, aside from Ryan Gosling. And like some people were obviously saying it was a racist thing, and then other people were saying that Lily Gladstone's performance was amazing, but Emma Stone did have to carry a film for 2 hours.
Yeah, and
as
she
the
might have
main.
even been a supporting character.
Yeah, because I thought that Lily Gladstone was going to be Best Supporting Actress for a long time nominee instead of lead
It would
actress.
have been interesting there too.
But and then the big two, I was not surprised.
It was a surprising night because Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan takes home a couple more, gets to give a good speech for his Best Director win, and then his wife gets to give a good speech for a surprising Oppenheimer Best Picture win.
And I'm a huge Nolan guy.
Wife
I love.
guy. Yeah.
I mean, I've told you before, I still haven't seen The Prestige, but I've seen like every other one.
That's my favorite movie of his. Yeah.
Oh, and I haven't seen Tenet.
Me neither.
But like running back through his films, you've got Interstellar, you've got Dunkirk.
He's innovative. He's perfect. He's action oriented. He's
the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, Memento. These are fucking good movies.
And they crowned him. They coronated him. They said, "King of the movies. This is you." I read somewhere too that he's now Hollywood's biggest star, like actors included. It's Christopher Nolan as the most cachet right now.
Interesting.
Wrestlers included. It's surprising. To say the least.
You have to include the wrestlers. But that is the Oscars. We are gonna look at. I have a thing that you and I started back in 2022. We did a list of all of the Best Picture winners since back to 2000 when Gladiator won. And we have ranked all of them each year. And then additionally in each year, we've done a did win, could have won, and should have won. So for 2023, obviously Oppenheimer won.
It. So we're updating it? Is that what you're saying?
We're updating. The could have win one was Poor Things. I think that was with the number of
has the smallest of chances.
And then the should have won, I guess, was probably still Oppenheimer, right?
Is this our opinion, or is this like the reflective opinion of context and time?
I think all of the above.
Because I would pick Anatomy of a Fall as my favorite movie of the year, but I can understand only if it's a personal argument.
And then let's see, because like last year it was Everything Everywhere All at Once that did win. Though the dark horse that could have won, I think, had to have been Banshees of Inisherin, right?
Yeah, correct.
But then the should have won, I think it was still Everything.
I think so.
And it looks like for the most part we've been pretty good. The 2021 that did win was Coda.
We can go through the. Okay.
Could win Power of the Dog. Should have won was probably Power of the Dog.
That's what I think. I agree.
Better good film. Call. I liked Coda more, but the 2020 year Nomadland won, and that was the rightful winner, I think. But the Trial of the Chicago 7, I think, was the backup. And
I think you're right. That was the goofiest of years.
Yeah. 2019 was something. Parasite
all the way through. What was almost win?
1917. Yeah, that was a good year. Those were
Parasite.
That was better. Parasite is better, but I thought that 1917 was going to win because I was like, I don't know if they're going to award an international film, you know?
That's right. And thank God that they did.
2018 Green Book won.
Ugh.
And it should have won, right?
No.
A weaker year. The could have won was Roma, and the should have won was Roma for us.
Yeah, I think Roma is a better choice for sure.
And I think let's go back to 2014 because there's some good ones in here. 2017, the winner was The Shape of Water.
That was an odd year. I think there's a different should have win.
could have won we put was 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri,
That's right.
which was a pretty good one. But the should have win, we
Pretty
had
good.
2 options that weren't either the did win or could win.
Yeah. Good.
It was Dunkirk or Get Out.
Ooh. I think, reflectively, I probably think Get Out, movie of the year, but both better choices. You're right.
Then 2016 is a fun one because the did win was Moonlight. The could have won was obviously La La Land. And for should win, we just put both.
Yeah, I was going to say toss up, coin flip.
Like those, they're both.
And both,
yeah,
amazing.
But both of them are so fucking good. And that was like the closest race I've ever seen.
I mean, literally, they picked the wrong winner at the very end.
And everybody was like, okay, yeah, La La Land won. They didn't. Nobody could have said anything else.
No, they had to look at the award and be like, oh, we lost.
2015 did win was Spotlight.
Great solid
could
flick.
win was The Revenant.
Ooh, great solid flick.
But our should have won was Mad Max Fury Road.
I think definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Sequel
and then
coming up this year.
Our 2014 one is similar to the 2016 one because the did win
was a great
was
year.
Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
Great
the could have won was Boyhood, another
right
very close one. And then should win, we put them both.
Or Whiplash.
Or Whiplash, honestly.
Yeah, what's that? The reverence we both paid to that movie.
Oh my God. Looking back even further, 2012, the winner was Argo. The could win, we had 2 of them, Life of Pi or Lincoln. But the should have won, we had 2 of them that weren't any of the previous 3, Silver Linings or Django.
Probably Django, yeah. Great years. 2023, good year, great year. I think a lot of people are saying good to great year.
Yeah, I would put it near the top. And where would you put Oppenheimer amidst these things? Because obviously our bottom is Green Book.
It is. I think it's
gotta be
up there. I think it's near the top.
Yeah, let's
one of the better
work
winners.
Our way from the bottom up. We'll make our way up quite a ways. We did Green Book, then Crash, then The Artist.
Okay, boring.
Then The Shape of Water.
It's better. I'll just keep going. It's better.
Spotlight.
Better.
A Beautiful Mind.
These are good movies, though. It's better.
Yeah, they are. Chicago.
I mean, these are Best Picture winners, but Oppenheimer's better than Chicago.
Yeah. The King's Speech.
I was just thinking The King's Speech in my head. Definitely more entertaining, better than The King's Speech.
And man, if it were The Social Network now, that's way better than The King's Speech.
You're right. Yeah. Should have won.
Argo.
Yeah.
Coda.
Yes.
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Now it's getting interesting. That's pretty close. We're in this territory. I would go Oppenheimer, but that's personal taste. Yeah.
So top 13 at least of the last 23 years, 24 years. Nomadland right above that.
Yeah.
The Hurt Locker.
I would say Oppenheimer. I mean, Bond movies, which is a better Bond movie, Brandon?
It's true. Then there's $1 Million Baby.
Yeah, it's tough.
This is tough. Then there's
one more.
Birdman.
Might be right there for me. What's one more than Birdman?
Gladiator.
I think it's right in this territory. Maybe one above Birdman.
So right behind Gladiator, we're putting it at 9.
Gladiator. What's ahead of Gladiator?
12 Years a Slave.
Okay.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Might be right there.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I think it's behind that, personally. People will disagree with that, but personally.
And I think the top 4 are pretty set. Parasite at 4.
Parasite, yeah.
Moonlight at 3.
Yeah.
The Departed at 2, and No Country for Old Men at 1.
You can shuffle those 4, but yeah, that's a good top 4.
So we're gonna put it.
I'm okay with Oppenheimer at like 9 or 8 or something.
Right behind Gladiator and ahead of Birdman.
And it could. I think it could plus or minus. I think it could has a range to go plus up to 6.
Yeah, I think I would put it maybe. I haven't seen obviously, but knowing about it, like right below maybe Slumdog, 12 Years a Slave range. Well, it could based on patient preference or person preference, it could go down to like Lord of the Rings Hurt Locker range.
I think the runtime is going to hurt it in this regard. I don't know how well it's going to age in the personal DVD collection, Netflix stream, and all that stuff. But regardless. So should we do like a little draft of movies we've seen this year or something like that?
Yeah, and I think that could be pretty good because we have seen a lot of films that the other person hasn't seen.
Yeah, we can kind of speak to their strengths and weaknesses. I think I've seen maybe like 15 movies that were released in the year 2023.
Let's see. I have it all. My list is 25 long, but there's some in here that I haven't seen that I wanted to add in. So I have seen 16.
I have some shit in here too. I've got
Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
I've got that in here. I've got White Men Can't Jump. The Jack Harlow version. I've got some shit in here. We've
got 3 of them we did on the podcast: Transformers: Rise of the Beast, Cocaine Bear, and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah, that's right. So who wants first pick of best movies we've seen this year?
We're doing top 5. You won the Oscars because of that tiebreak, so you get to go first. Top 5.
Top 5. I am going to pick my favorite movie of the year: the French courtroom drama Anatomy of a Fall. Directed by Justine Triet. It won the Palme d'Or. It won Best Original Screenplay at the Oscars last night. It's scintillating. It's got a amazing use of 50 Cent's PIMP that when I first heard it, I was like ears perked. I'm like potential 5-star movie when this dropped. Still to this day, don't know what I think happened in the movie. And it's beautiful and it's artistic. And it's one of those movies where the who done it, the what done it, the why done it, not necessarily the most important part of the movie, which I love about that. So Anatomy of a Fall, a rare 5-star movie.
Not the most important and never resolved.
Correct. But I mean, it keeps you awake at night wondering anyways.
Yeah. My number 1 is going to be one that's not on your list at all. Because you haven't seen it and because you wouldn't do it. It's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Nice.
Oh,
speak to its strengths.
A rare 2-hour, 20+ minute animated movie.
That's a lot of work.
But the animation style is above and beyond any animation I've ever seen. The use of kind of 2-bit and then 3-bit animation to create different cartoon, like comic book styles. And then the whole idea of jumping through universes and multiverses and combining all of this kind of thing was absolutely beautiful. Cried multiple times. The action, really fun. And
is this Miles Morales?
Yeah, and Spider-Man's one of the superheroes that I always have a soft spot for. So,
I don't know if you whatever personal rating system you subscribe to, what does this equate to?
It's like a 9.3
on the lasagna.
9.4.
Okay, if I had to do Anatomy of a Fall, it's like a 9.7, 9.8, and then
nice.
No, and the lasagna scale for me, yeah.
Next for you.
My pick. Let's see here. I will take the golden boy of the night. I'll take Oppenheimer. I've got it rated a 4.5-star movie. It was my favorite movie of the year for a while until I saw Anatomy of a Fall. It flies by. 3 hours is a daunting timeline, but Christopher Nolan makes it a breeze in his hands. We went and saw it with Carmine, and he had to run it twice in the theater because of how intense the filmmaking was about a movie about science and like mathematics. So the filmmaking, as evidenced by all the awards and accolades it got by, it was an intense experience.
That's another one where Mitch was like, the movie kind of dragged at some point. Like, I completely disagree. It was like, you were like, I can't remember exactly what you said in the Discord. You said if this one felt like, oh, what did you say? I'm going to look it up. Continue.
That point is, and it's a strength of Scorsese's Killers as well, that it flies by in the hands of a master filmmaker. That 3 hours doesn't seem like that when you're being entertained.
Here
so
it was
flawlessly.
If Indiana Jones felt like 2.75 hours, Oppenheimer felt like 1.3 hours.
It's true. Yeah, which was relative. He's a master filmmaker, wildly entertaining movie about the guy who almost killed the world.
So it was Saturday night, and I was watching Dollman versus Demonic Toys, and I was like,
Perfect.
I started it at 8:30 or at 9, and I was like, it's gonna end by 10. I want to watch Oppenheimer because the Oscars are the next night, and then I was like, it ended, and it was like 10:30 because there was Freeview with ads, and I did a couple
Yeah.
pauses in there, and then I was like, can I start this now and be done with it at
Mm,
1:30? And I was like, I work the next day.
you have
I'm
to
probably
work.
not going
Yeah.
to, but I remembered that you said that it feels like it flies and it keeps you engaged, and I was like, I might be able to do it.
You might and fly by tomorrow. You might have just off the pure artistic analytic
Adrenaline.
adrenaline alone. But you'll get to it soon enough. Your second pick.
I'm gonna do The Holdovers. I gave it an 8.8 out of 10. A Christmas
Oh, I
film.
didn't. My bad. Oppenheimer. I think I gave like a 9.1, 9.2. Pretty great. Yeah, and Christmas film. Excuse me.
A Christmas film, and I was trying to be all witty in my review on Discord, where I was like, what it lacks in Christmas lights and jingle bells, like the glitz and the glam, basically, it makes up
Yeah.
for in very heavy-hearted performances and just kind of brilliant,
An,
subtle comedic writing.
an
Um,
anti Deck the Halls, if you will.
I read that there's the big three. There's uh, what's her name? Davine Joy Rafe Randolph as the cook. There's Paul Giamatti as the teacher that's there, and then the kid. I can't remember his name, but he was actually a student
Yeah.
at this boarding school,
Oh,
and they held
bizarre.
auditions for the people there, and they were just so blown away by him that they cast him in there. And I, after watching, I was like, he could have been nominated. Honestly,
Next
he
big
does
thing. That's what I've heard actually
amazing.
about that kid. Yeah. What podcast I listened to was saying the same thing.
So really wonderful,
Alexander
really
Payne.
heartwarming. Yeah, I do love Alexander Payne. Very heartwarming. It's an easy watch. It's a little long, but and it's not one that you're gonna be like, oh, it's Christmas time. I gotta watch this movie again. But it's rewatchable for sure, and you can pick up on some more subtleties.
My third pick, my third favorite movie of the year. I'll pick The Killer, the
Oh,
David Fincher movie,
the
Netflix.
Fassbender.
Yes, Fassbender as a hitman whose perfect record goes wrong. I love this movie because I'm a huge fan, as we know in the podcast of recording of our episode about The Tempest, of like reading into autobiographical um, interpretations through artistic work. And I think this is a very funny and very prevalent example of this. Spoiler alerts: the killer botches a kill in the first couple minutes of the movie, and which it's a very, I think, obvious interpretation for David Fincher botching the movie Mank as his last film. And I think the rest of the movie is him like apologizing for Mank in a very interesting
Interesting.
way, which is why it made my third favorite movie of the year as a
It
nine point.
was it was one that I really wanted to watch. And because Fincher's, I think, my favorite director. And I
Oh yeah,
remember watching Mank, and like
yeah.
it was nominated for like 10 things, but it didn't win
It was
anything.
that. It was the COVID year. Yeah,
It was the COVID, and it was just boring.
of
And
course.
I'm a movie person. Like
Yes,
I
we
love
are.
movies,
We have a
but you
podcast.
have to know like every single thing about Orson Welles and Mank and the making of Citizen
Yes,
Kane to even
and
slightly follow along
part
in
of
it. And I
that
was just like,
part of that reason too is that he wrote Mank was a screenplay written by his dad who had passed away, so it was like a passion project. But you're
oh.
right, extremely boring. And I think he felt very apologetic to the film world about putting that out there. And this was like, I fucked up. Here's my movie about fucking up.
Um, I'm gonna skip my third favorite film of the year because it's actually I think lower rated than the ones behind it. It's just I have a soft spot for animated movies, so Elemental's high. But
Oh, so
I'm
number three is Elemental.
no, that's what I'm skipping. It's not making my list. So if you want to take it, go
Oh,
for
so
it.
it's honorable mention Elemental.
Yeah. I'm going Barbie.
Barbie. You should articulate your thoughts on Barbie like a drink of water.
It's a movie that I've seen maybe 3 or 4 times now. Marina loves it. We've got it on DVD. Um, uh, so many people are like, oh, it's so dumb and it's so childish and all of this, but that's the point. It's a movie about a doll,
That's the
but when
point.
I found out that Greta Gerwig was doing it, I was like, this movie's actually going to mean something. It's not just going to be a movie about a Barbie doll. Not like what was it? Life size, the Tyra Banks Barbie one or whatever.
Bullshit.
This is one that really talks about women's roles in society and
In a funny way.
Yes, inverting the genre on the patriarch, and really great performances from Margot Robbie. Okay, from America Ferrera. Ryan Gosling's amazing in it.
Of course.
Michael Cera is a great character in there.
Alan.
As Alan. And the production is there. They put in so much work to make sure that everything looks like Barbie, Barbie Dream World, Barbie Dream Castle, the whole shebang, outfits, everything. It's fun. It made me cry once again. It's an 8.6 out of 10.
My fourth movie is Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese's epic about the genocide of the Osage people. What can you say about the man? When I watched it, surprised how dumb Leo was. It was amazing. He's a fucking all-time dumbass. Lily should have won the Oscar. Too long a bit, but you can't tell that man to cut anything, right?
Every one of Scorsese, I think the shortest film he's ever done is 2:40.
Yeah, that's his thing. You don't get to pick and choose Martin Scorsese movies, and I think I have that as around like an 8.7.
Okay.
Great.
Next is a mockumentary movie that is on Hulu. It's called Theater Camp.
Ooh, your penultimate pick.
It's got Ben Platt. It's got Ayo Edebiri. It's got Noah Galvin, Jimmy Tatro, Molly Gordon. It's about a documentary crew that was coming to film this really powerful and kind of game-changing theater teacher that hosts a camp that is really for the children, nonprofit, and then right away she dies. And they're like, what are we going to do with this documentary now? So her son takes over the business, but then tries to make it all about profit. And then you get all the drama of drama camp and theater and all that, and all of the people
it's
trying
a true documentary?
No.
People mockumentary.
Yeah, people who are supposed to be on SNL, but now they're just at theater camp instead and doing all this. Very funny, very fun. I love a kind of niche film like that. I'm going to give that a 8.1 out of 10.
And then my fifth pick, it came down to a couple movies. Poor Things, which won a bunch of Oscars, so I'll punt that and pick Blackberry. Maybe one of the first movies I saw this year. Still held true. It's one of my favorite movies. All-time Glenn Howerton performance.
Yeah, I heard.
He's so great in it. He really brings it home. Jay Baruchel's great too, with an absurd-looking toupee. It's a very sort of unique, almost Office style mockumentary type as well, but done with a pretty abrasive method. I like Blackberry a ton. It's very funny, very cool. Makes you think at the very end too.
I think that was kind of lost in the mix of similar style films with Air and Dumb Money that came out this year.
I think it was probably the best of those, and I gave it an 8. I'll give it an 8.5, 8.4.
And my last one is on Netflix. It's also an 8.1 out of 10. It's called Fry Bread Face and Me. Two adolescent Navajo cousins from different worlds. One from like San Diego and one from the Navajo reservation bond during a summer while they're herding sheep at their grandma's ranch in Arizona and learn more about their culture and how to make it in the world and each other's cultures. And it's simple. It's an hour and 23 minutes.
Breezy.
It's very breezy. It's kind of not a period piece, but it shines a positive light and a real light on piece. On the Native American culture. Very good. So
I should watch that as I teach on the reservation.
Yeah. And any honorable mentions for you? You said Poor
I
Things.
said Poor Things. What else? That's about it. I saw a
Elemental,
bunch
I
of shit
said.
this year.
There was that new animated kind of comic book style one, that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
Very good.
I liked a lot the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, even though it was not the best movie.
I need to watch the new Mission Impossible. That's going to be one that's going to be
You've
up there.
watched all those before, though, too.
Mm-hmm. Saltburn was very good.
I do need to see Saltburn as well. I like all that shit.
Champions, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Shout out the biggest movie there, the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Fuck Wes Anderson for Asteroid City. Fuck him.
Didn't see that. See, like, you and I watched a bunch of movies, but we all watched separate movies. Like, we have no overlap this year,
because
which is crazy.
We're dedicated to our viewership, and we want to spread out the wealth. Divide and conquer. Split up, we'll find the bad guy that way.
Also, another one, No Hard Feelings, that Jennifer Lawrence comedy.
One of my kids said that was their favorite movie of the year.
It's actually quite good. I cried once in it.
Sure. That's no indicator of anything, but yeah.
Very
surprising year. And a surprising broadcast to you. I was very surprised. You audience listeners, this is a surprise, a bonus, potentially. A surprising episode. That's all I can say.
The bonus and surprise, but that is 2023 year in movies recap. There's awards, there's our list, there's our drafts and our thoughts, and
I'm glad you're getting this. Glad you're getting the recap on March. What was this, 25th when they get this?
I don't know. I might put it out Thursday. Who knows?
20, maybe even, yeah. Just as we care about the audience, and that's why we illuminate your picks and relay the surprises in our minds.
Illuminate your picks and illuminate your genitals. That's what we do.
Surprise.
Yeah, big surprises there. So thanks for tuning in on our little bonus thing. Remember that the writer is inside and the TV talks. And
if I remember the writer's inside of me, I should let him out.
Deep inside of you. Gadoosh?
Love you. That doesn't love the audience.
Yeah, he hates them. What should I call this?
Oscar Mayer Wiener special.
The Oscars 2023 recap.
Mayer Wiener special. Yeah. Oscars / 2023 recap.
I should have done that. Yeah. So yeah, if you wanted to do like an actual thing to put out for Monday, like I said, I'm off for the next 3 weeks. If you wanted to squeeze in something during the week, we could even do Dollman because we've already seen it. But
minus that, we could see. I might be pretty open later in the week.
Okay, I'm down. Especially like if Marina and Alex are recording theirs, we have a time slot for us then too. So
to actually spill it with wieners.
I also didn't realize that I was taking 3 weeks off in the midst of March Madness. So I'm just off to watch.
Great. You should learn everything about it before.
The Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. I'm like,
that's brilliant.
I mean, I have a baby, so I'm not.
You can get a babysitter.
I just close the door to my basement and sit in the van and just watch.
That's what they do. Just pay for it.
Yeah.
All right, hey.
You have a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up with that as quick as possible. I might, like I said, put it out like Thursday or something.
Yeah, I'll get it to you by tomorrow for sure.
Cool.
Peace.
Later.